Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Friday, the 23rd of December. Good to have you aboard. It is a holiday weekend. I don't know, maybe your business is letting you out half day today. You can get the holiday weekend started early. Either way, it's a very big weekend. We got Christmas Eve tomorrow, full slate of NFL games. We got Christmas Day on Sunday. That's obviously the main event. The Dolphins are once again on a national stage this weekend. Christmas Day, usually dominated by the NBA. I don't think that's going to wind up being the case. The NFL gave them a big middle finger and FU. So I think the NFL is taking over Christmas Day this year. But nonetheless, you're wrapping up your week with another edition of ZASLOW Show 2.0. I love you long time. Make sure you like, you rate, you comment. You do all that good stuff for the algorithm. That helps me get all the monies, and then everybody's in a great mood. So appreciate everybody as we wrap up. I believe this is week number 7. 7 or 8. I'm starting to lose track, but that's a good thing. That means we're doing a lot of shows. So appreciate everybody, and of course appreciate my sponsors, beginning with the title sponsor of ZASLOW Show 2.0 from day number 1, and that's our friends at Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys. I hope they have a great holiday, of course, but if you're dealing with any kind of injury, it doesn't matter if it's the holiday season. It doesn't matter if most businesses are closed because it's Christmas or what have you. If you're dealing with a personal injury, you're involved in an accident, you call Anidjar and Levine. 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. Let them take care of you. Get the money you deserve while you get healthy, you rest up, and you get all better. So again, you'll get an attorney on the phone right away. Title sponsor of ZASLOW Show 2.0, Anidjar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Let my friends over there take care of you. 800-747-FREE, 3733. So I'm in a great mood, of course. It's a holiday weekend. It's a major sports weekend. It's so unique, of course, because you got the NFL, a full day of Saturday NFL games. This is very rare where you got Christmas falling on the weekend where it's Christmas Eve Saturday, Christmas Day Sunday. So everyone's playing Christmas Eve. You get the games, including the Dolphins on Sunday. So you get to just kind of, you're a Dolphin fan. Of course you're a Dolphin fan. Best team. You get to sit back and you relax tomorrow just with a full slate of NFL games. Your usual 1 o'clock, your 4 o'clock, your 8:30, your 8:20, and then on Sunday, you got a triple header. You got 3 more games, but it begins with the Dolphins. So, and of course, like I said, full slate, 5 straight games starting at noon of the NBA on Sunday. This is a great weekend, all right? And I also feel really good because I got a new Johnny Cuba hat. That's right. Check out this hat. I've been wearing on Fridays because, I'm ready for the weekend. So I'm ready to pop open a can of Johnny, all right? Make sure you pick up a 6-pack of Johnny Cuba. You can go right now. Winn-Dixie, Sedanos, Fresco y Mas, Presidente. Got holiday specials going on right now in 6-packs of Johnny Cuba. European roots, a Caribbean soul. Get your weekend started like me. Pop open a can of Johnny Cuba. And I got a couple things going on here. Look, I got the new Johnny Cuba camo hat. You love that. And I've been telling you about the hot sauce, right? Caribbean habanero chili. I love hot sauce. Check out what I got. My man Juan yesterday, the whole Johnny Cuba team met up at Unbranded Brewery down there in Hialeah. Have a couple drinks, do a little bit of schmoozing. And check out what I got. I got the new hat from my man Juan and Johnny Cuba. And of course, right here, this can be available to everybody real soon. Got the Johnny Cuba Caribbean Habanero Chile hot sauce. And I love hot sauce, man. So there you have it. I got set up yesterday, so I'm in a great mood. And again, Johnny Cuba, don't forget the mantra. Stay tranquilo. So I'm in a great mood today because it's Friday. But you know what set me off on a terrible mood yesterday? So you probably saw this by now. I already tweeted it yesterday. And, oh, by the way, let me tell you what we have coming up on the show today. Jamie Eisenberg, CBS Sports Fantasy Football. He's going to join us coming up in a little bit, and we'll do the fantasy football with him. We'll make sure that you're all set. You're all ready to go for the weekend's games. Thursday Night Football last night. I'll circle back to that in a moment. And Jen Latta, up there in Milwaukee, ESPN Milwaukee, Good Karma Brands. I love those guys. ESPN Milwaukee, and of course, you see her on ESPN television as well. Jen Latta is going to give us a little bit. I got a bunch of questions on Aaron Rodgers, all right? So we'll do some Packers-Dolphins with her. But I'm really interested in how the Milwaukee fan, the Green Bay Packer fan, how they're feeling about Aaron Rodgers right about now. Just the whole season, and we're getting close to the end, so we'll get Jen on the phone. We haven't talked to her. I say on the phone, on the Zoom, whatever. ZASLOW Show 2.0 guest line brought to us by Johnny Cuba. So we'll get Jen on the show. It'll be her return/debut on ZASLOW Show 2.0. She's always really good and does a really popular show there in the mornings up there at ESPN Milwaukee. So Jen will join us. We'll do some Dolphins and Packers with her. I'll get back to the Thursday night, or I'll get to the Thursday night football in a second. Here's what I got there to start. This made me so angry yesterday. So there's this viral video. I saw the headline early yesterday where Robert Kraft, Patriots owner, he reached out to a Patriots fan, left him a voicemail. Like, it was a really sweet voicemail. Like, I didn't think twice about it. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, okay. And so Robert Kraft left a voicemail for this Patriots fan who had a bad experience at the game last week. It was his first ever Patriots game. And, remember, the game was in Vegas. You had the crazy ending. Mac Jones, he sucks. And terribly embarrassing finish to that game for the Patriots. And this fan had a terrible experience, so Robert Kraft apparently has invited him, like he's going to watch the game in the suite or something, field passes, that whole deal. This guy's name is Jerry Edmond. He's been identified as. Because the reason he was identified, so here's the story, and I retweeted this yesterday. Video was taken and, went viral. So it's the end of the game in Vegas. We all know the last play. This is like way up in the upper deck. And we know Raider fans have a reputation. So this is way up in the upper deck where, there could be some behavior issues sometimes, from what I'm told. And, up there on the Joy Taylor Memorial seats. And so the final play happens. The Raider fans are going crazy. And homeboy, Jerry Edmond, all right, everyone's standing. He's standing there. He's in his Patriots gear. His buddy right next to him, he's in his Patriots gear. And this godforsaken woman, all right, and she's wearing, Raiders gear. I assume that's her boyfriend or her husband that's with her. And he's actually kind of trying to hold her back. But she's up in this dude's face. She is yelling at him. She's cursing him up and down. While all the other fans are cheering and having a great time because they just witnessed a great finish, this woman's MO was to go right over to this guy in his face, and she is just, berating him. It's so gross. And this guy didn't do anything. He looks like he's probably in his 20s, and he's just standing there just eating it. Not arms folded, and his buddy too, not doing anything. And you may be saying to yourself, and the behavior is so disgusting. And you may be saying to yourself, ZASLOW, you don't know what happened before the camera started rolling. No, you know what? I do know what happened before the camera started rolling. And that's nothing. Because if this guy did anything to previously antagonize her, his behavior wouldn't have been as such in this moment. He would have yelled something back to her. He would have shoved her away. He would have done something. But instead, he just stood there and kind of took, and you could see he's like really uncomfortable. Like, oh my God, this woman, like, what is she doing to me? And he even said once the video went viral, he kind of responded, like, he goes, this is me in the video. My name is so-and-so. It's my first ever NFL game. Your first ever NFL game. This is his experience. And I hate the Patriots. I hate this woman so much more. I don't know, and there's a part of me where it's kind of like, I feel like if I was there, I would have pushed, I would have, said to her, I was like, hey, why go sit back down? Like, come on, what are you doing? I was very grossed out by the whole scene. I felt so bad for this young man. This woman is just the dregs of our society and the worst that you get in an NFL game. And this is the kind of stuff where it took me a while to really decide to take my boys to a Dolphins game. And as it turned out, we've never had any issues. But I always kind of felt behavior can be really poor at NFL games. Got a lot of alcohol involved. And I kind of, like, I didn't think that it was going to be a situation where I took my kids. As crazy as that sounds, right? But we haven't had it. Eventually, I gave in. And we have a great time at Dolphin games. And we haven't had any situations. But I was, again, I retweeted it yesterday. I was so grossed out with this situation. Really good job by Robert Kraft by reaching out. And he's going to set this guy up, at a Patriots game in Foxborough. And just Like, this woman, I hope she's feeling some amount of shame because the video is viral. I don't believe she's been identified. He identified himself. It's the whole thing is, I don't know. I had to start the show talking a little bit about it. It's so gross. It's so gross. I hate that type of fan behavior. Like here, oh man, here's the video. I got it on my screen now again. Like she is just in his face. The husband / boyfriend must be so like he is struggling to hold her back. It's such gross behavior. Why not just celebrate your team? It was the most amazing moment. And you decide, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to berate this young man. Oh my God, it's so bad. And you know what? Good on this guy who has the video and tweet out. The video has 16,000 retweets, 195,000 likes, I guess, which I guess the people aren't really liking it. You know, they kind of hate it because it's so bad. Oh my God, look at her. Look at this woman. Can you imagine living with this woman? Oh, it's the worst woman. So I'm glad the Patriots are doing right by this guy, and they're bringing him to a game in Foxborough. It's so gross. The Vegas Raiders should reach out to him as well, and they should do something for him too. It's such disgusting behavior. Go back onto my Twitter yesterday, and you can watch the video. I hate this woman with a passion, and I don't know her from a hole in the wall. Now, speaking of fan behavior, last night, that Thursday Night Football, oh my God. Oh my God. So Zach Wilson, he's starting for the Jets for the second game in a row. And because Mike White can't be cleared. And we know, we went over this yesterday. The Dolphin fans rooting for the Jaguars for a couple reasons yesterday. You're rooting for the Jaguars because, A, you want the Jets to lose because fuck the Jets. But you want the Jets to lose because they're behind the Dolphins and you want to kind of eliminate one of those teams that are chasing you, like the Jets and the Patriots, So the Jets are in big trouble now, dropping to 7-8. I hope that Robert Saleh's keeping all those receipts. They've lost 5 out of their last 6 games. They're in big trouble. And I don't know, maybe that final game against the Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium is not going to mean anything for the Jets. It'll mean something for the Dolphins because at the very least, if it's not for a playoff spot, it'll be for playoff positioning. So even if the game doesn't mean anything for the Jets, you still want to be there. And that's still going to be a really great scene. It's going to be very meaningful for the Dolphins, maybe not so much for the Jets. They stink. You wanted the Jets to lose as well because you want the Jaguars to win. Why do you want the Jaguars to win? Well, now it's 7-8. The Jaguars are just half a game back of the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are without Ryan Tannehill now for the remainder of the season, and the Jaguars can totally win that AFC South. Let me see who the Jaguars' last 2 games are against actually here. They're at Houston, and they have Tennessee. Look, they're the Jaguars, but they're going to win this division. They should totally win these final 2 games. If the way that you win the division is going to Houston and beating that team, and then, a showdown for the division at home against Tennessee, Jacksonville is going to wind up winning that division after winning that game last night. So 19-3, they win on the road. And the week before, beating the Cowboys, super impressive. And the game before that, they beat Tennessee by 2 touchdowns in Tennessee. So the Jags are going to win this division. And that's good for the Dolphins because if the Dolphins can jump up to number 5, you play the AFC South winner. That's looking like it's going to be Jacksonville. And I think everybody feels like that would be a winnable game. Even though it'd be a Jaguar team that is just streaking. I think it's going to be a Dolphin team that's streaking. Well, it would be a Dolphin team that's streaking because if the Dolphins get up to number 5, they'll presumably have won 3 games in a row, and you're going to be feeling really great about your favorite little football team. So the way that I see it here, the scenario for the Dolphins to get up to number 5, obviously you got to take care of your own business. It starts with this weekend. So Dolphins would have to win their final 3 games, and then you need Baltimore, who, by the way, Lamar Jackson's out again this weekend. We'll get to him in big deal, not a big deal. But the Dolphins need to win their final 3 games, and they need the Chargers and the Ravens to lose 1 of their final 3 games. That's not that much to ask for because Los Angeles has the tiebreak against you, so you need to finish with a better record, and you have the tiebreak of Baltimore. They're a game up. You would win that tiebreak. You could be number 5. Now, Los Angeles' last 3 games are super winnable. They're at Indianapolis. They have the Rams and they're at Denver. Now, oh, ZASLOW, they're going to win all those games. Let's not pretend like the Chargers have been world beaters all season. So then the Chargers would have to finish the season with a 5-game win streak. They're going to be favored in all 3 of these games, all right? They're favored this weekend at the Colts by 4.5. They're going to be favored at home against the Rams. They're going to be favored at Denver. But like I said, the Chargers aren't these world beaters. Can they lose one of those games? Yeah, they can. And then you look at Baltimore. Baltimore's without Lamar Jackson this weekend. I don't know if Lamar Jackson's going to rush back either because, you got the whole contract situation there, which, like I said, when you get to that, big deal, not a big deal. But Baltimore this weekend has Atlanta. They're a 6.5-point favorite. I don't know how they're a 6.5-point favorite. They could totally lose that game to Atlanta. They just scored 3 points last week. Then Baltimore is hosting Pittsburgh. They could lose that game if Lamar Jackson doesn't play. They just slipped past Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago. And then Baltimore finishes the season at Cincinnati in a game Cincinnati's probably going to need, not just to try and win that division, but maybe they want to jump up to second or first in the AFC. So I think we could all agree Baltimore is going to lose one of those games. So it brings us all back to the Dolphins. Well, actually, it brings us back to Thursday Night Football and fan behavior. So last night, the Jets lose 19-3. Bunch of field goals from Jacksonville. They did enough to win. Weather was very poor, and so was Zach Wilson. So Zach Wilson, with his second consecutive start in place of Mike White, who has not been cleared by doctors, and holy shit, the booing that took place. I never understand the booing. You want your team to win. You want your players to perform well. Booing is not going to help. I'll never understand the booing. If you want your team to win and you want your players to perform well, the booing is not going to help them. If anything, the booing may not hurt them. You're like, oh, they're tough. They don't care. The booing may not hurt them, but it's not going to help. And, if anything, it's going to make them nervous. It's going to make them, it's going to stress them out. It's going to make them try harder, but try harder meaning they're going to make mistakes. They're going to do things out of character. The booing is not going to help. It certainly might hurt. I'll never understand the booing. And the booing for Zach Wilson after every incomplete pass last night, really from the second quarter on, when you kind of saw, oh, he sucks. He's going to have a terrible game. He was 9 of 18 for 90 yards and an interception last night. And the booing was so intense, I felt bad for him. I did. And it's always F the Jets. But I felt bad for Zach Wilson. Because the reality is, he's a young kid. He's not a kid, he's an adult, ZASLOW. He's 23, 24, whatever he is. I don't know, at my age, I'm 41 years old. That's a kid to me. And just in a sea of 70,000 people, and obviously everybody watching on Thursday Night Football, national game, and then he gets pulled, of course, because he was terrible and deserved to get pulled, and just standing there on the sidelines knowing that, wow, everyone is talking shit about me right now. This is so embarrassing. I felt bad for him. The booing was so intense. And I don't believe booing helps. And then it's I think the Jets fan enjoys booing their team. I do. I think there's an element of, I think the Jets fan goes to the game and they want their team to win. But if their team's not going to win, I think they say to themselves, we want to be so bad. We want one of our players, or in this case, Zach Wilson, because he's such a lightning rod. If we're not going to win, I hope Zach Wilson is so bad that we could just boo him every play, because that's going to be fun. I think that's how the Jet fan goes into the game. They want to win, but it's two scenarios. We want to win, but if we can't win, I hope Zach Wilson is so terrible that it'll be so fun to boo him and just humiliate him. I think that's the Jets fans' MO. I think that's the attitude they have going into the game. You can always hit me up on Twitter. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. We got Jets fans who listen. Look, not everybody's perfect. We got Jets fans who listen to this show or watch the show, youtube.com/@ZASLOW Show. Like I said, if you listen to the show or you're watching on the YouTube channel, rate, comment, do all that good stuff. It's for the algorithm. I get all the monies. I love that. You can always hit me up on Twitter @ZASLOW Show. Love talking to you guys. And of course on Instagram as well. I'm an influencer, but I love responding to you guys. I like getting involved. So at ZASLOW J. This weekend, so tomorrow, you got a full slate of NFL games. It's a Saturday. But Sunday, I'm going to be back at my spot at Briny Irish Pub in Pompano, okay? So if you're looking for a place to watch the Dolphins, you want to come hang out with me, I'm going to be there with my son. I'll probably be there with a friend or two. We're going to be at Briny Irish Pub on Sunday watching the Dolphin game. So you're coming out. They got the NFL tickets, so if you're looking for a place on Saturday, real easy to get there. World's greatest upscale dive bar, Briny Irish Pub. You take Atlantic Boulevard all the way to the ocean. Literally, all the way to the ocean. But don't park in the ocean. Park right behind the Briny. They got free parking right there. They'll validate you, okay? So park right behind the Briny. And if you're looking for something to do tonight, look, they got live music every 7 days a week, 7 nights a week. You got live music every night at the Briny, okay? You come out tonight, you unwind, you got dinner, you got drinks at the beach. Obviously, Briny Hour, it's happy hour, Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m., lots of great local craft beer on tap, fish and chips, mahi tacos, barbecue ribs. So you can head on out there tonight. You're looking for something to do with the missus or the mister, whatever you got going on. And if you want to come hang out with me this Sunday, all right, Briny Irish Pub, Pompano Beach, I'm going to be there for the Dolphin game. God, the fan behavior, man. Between the Raider fan, I mean, this woman, can you imagine living with this woman? She might be someone's, can you imagine it's your mom? Go back and look at the video on my Twitter feed. It's so like my blood is starting to boil again over something where a Patriots fan was embarrassed. Like you would think, oh, ZASLOW, it's okay. A Patriots fan was embarrassed. All the responses I got though yesterday, like people agree. Like this is so disgusting. It doesn't matter that it's a Patriots fan. I hate this woman so much more. Anyway, we got a poll question today. ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll. We're going to get to Jamie Eisenberg coming up in a few moments here, do some fantasy football with him. Today's ZASLOW Show poll question. Everybody's out voting early and often. Go out and vote at ZASLOW Show. ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll. Will we get the double dip tonight? Is that how we're going to start our Christmas holiday weekend? Will we get the double dip tonight? Now, everybody knows what the double dip is. The double dip is when the Panthers and the Heat play on the same night. Can we get both of them to win? All right, so is it going to be the double dip or is it going to be the double dick punch? That's when both of them lose. That's the worst thing in the world. So, poll question today. Will we get the double dip tonight? The Panthers are at the New York Islanders. That's probably an L because they're back to being just the Panthers. They stink. And the Heat are hosting Indiana tonight. So, ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll. Will we get the double dip tonight? And here are our choices. Yes, both win. Heat win, Panthers lose. Heat lose, Panthers win. Or both lose. And everybody knows that's double dick punch. So right now, the leader at 42% of the vote. You guys are voting double dick punch. Both are going to lose tonight. I'm feeling Heat win, Panthers lose. And right now, Heat win, Panthers lose has 17% of the votes. So go vote right now at ZASLOW Show. Will we get the double dip tonight? That's what we got going on. Heat have Indiana. Panthers are at the New York Islanders. So this is a fun sports night in the ZASLOW Mansion. That's what you got going on. Now, the weekend. Here's what we got going on. As far as Christmas Day goes. Very big sports day. I mean, look at this for Christmas Day. For Christmas Day, obviously Packers, Dolphins. Like I said, I'll be at the Briny. Packers, Dolphins get started. Then you got Denver at the Los Angeles Rams. It's a bad game, but it's still the NFL. And then at night, you got Tampa Bay at Arizona. Also a bad game, but worth watching because it's Brady. And you got the Buccaneers, who are obviously fighting for that division. So that's what you got for Sunday NFL. But you got the NBA. The NBA starts their 5 games in a row at noon on Christmas Day. Philadelphia at New York. The Knicks are playing great. They had their 8-game win streak snapped recently. Philadelphia's got James Harden back, so you got a lot of star power there. Then you got the Los Angeles Lakers at Dallas. Luka, LeBron, okay. Milwaukee at Boston, a battle of 1 and 2 in the Eastern Conference. Giannis, Jason Tatum, MVP candidates right there. Great game. Number 4, Memphis at Golden State. Got a little bit of John Moran coming up in big deal, not a big deal today. Memphis at Golden State. The Warriors are so freaking bad, they're going to get smoked. Memphis, John Morant, there you go. And finally, wrapping up your Christmas Day slate of NBA games, you got Phoenix at Denver. It's been struggle city for the Suns of late. The Nuggets are first place in the Western Conference. So that's a big-time matchup right there. So 5 NBA games, 3 NFL games. This is going to be, you got the pig on the roast right there. Come on, I know about it. And you got a great Christmas Day. This is a great Christmas weekend. Coming off of a Christmas Eve party you're celebrating. La Noche Buena. Come on. I know. Get that pig. Let's do it. So, a lot going on here this weekend. Like I said, we're going to talk to Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee. We're going to do some Dolphins and Packers with her coming up this weekend. Obviously, we got big game, not a big game. There's a lot happening here. Big game, not a big game.